Welcome to another additional episode of More Corporate Mass Layoffs. This week, Nestle, your favorite milk chocolate company, is announcing 16,000 layoffs for the upcoming 2 years. And they are saying that the reason is because of automation, specifically artificial intelligence. And 16,000 people is a lot. It says in the article that's 6% of their entire workforce. Now, for a company that is as big as Nestle, 6% is massive. That is that's going to affect a lot of things indirectly. It's going to affect communities. It's going to affect the economy. Nestle, if you don't know, they make so many household products. I know them because of their Nesquik milk chocolate, which is, I admit, pretty delicious, although Nestle is a very evil company, but we're not going to get into that in this video. But if you're not familiar, Nestle makes a lot of household products. They make baby formula, they make bottled water, they make so many things that you probably have in your pantry if you look close enough. But to give perspective, 16,000 people in 2 years, that's 8,000 people per year up into 2027 as of this video. And they give a rough breakdown of who is getting laid off and from which department. So here it says about 12,000 are white collar professionals. So 12,000 people that are getting laid off work on the computer, doing sales reports. I don't know if they have their own tech department, but if they do, the tech department is getting laid off. People who are managing their website, all those people on a computer, or 12,000 of them are getting laid off. And then the other 4,000, which you could see here, says that those roles are in manufacturing and supply chain. So my guess, I'm not an expert, correct me if I'm wrong, but those people are, working in the factories, working on the production line. They're probably doing, literally physically checking the packages, putting them where they need to go, checking inventory, all those things. Is more of like the blue collar side of the company. But yeah, 12,000 from white collar and 4,000 from what I assume is the blue collar side. And it doesn't say the specific roles that are getting eliminated and how AI is being used, but I did do some research and I used ChatGPT, which is a little ironic, to look for what potential positions could be replaced by AI from these layoffs. And what I got was, I'm going to go down the list. So Nestle will most likely use AI to take over these roles from humans. So the first one is manufacturing quality control. And what this means is this role is where humans monitor food samples. Like, they literally take the food samples, they do reports, they do analysis, they give an overview of I guess the effects of certain ingredients in the product, blah blah blah, and they report back to the company and tell them, we need to replace these ingredients, or this could be improved, blah blah blah. Well, AI could do that by analyzing live sensor data. So I guess they have these machines that can analyze the actual products, and then the AI could give an accurate report and analysis of these things without having a human. The other role is supply chain planning, and AI can dynamically forecast consumer demand and optimize inventory based on the anticipated trajectory. So that's more of a data analysis role, and AI is very good with data analysis. So they could just run it through a model and have maybe not one or two, but just several handful of humans do spot checking. But you don't need a whole department if you have an AI model doing business analysis these days. The other role is food scientists for product innovation. So instead of having food scientists coming up with new ingredients or new flavor profiles for whatever. They can have AI models run their analysis through a bunch of their different brands and different products and come to a conclusion of, like give several brainstormed ideas of what products they could consider creating and what ingredients they could consider introducing into new products, rather than having a whole team conduct meetings and research to do all of this manually. They could just run it through an AI and it could have new ideas just like that. And the other role is internal tools coming from legal, marketing, or just general reporting. So these are just sales reports, general consumer analysis, and internal function. They apparently, this is true, Nestle has deployed an internal tool called NestGPT, and they have this customized ChatGPT model that they use in the company, and that assists employees across marketing, legal, and innovation teams. So they have enough budget and enough resources to have a custom ChatGPT model that could be effective in their employee internal tools. And then lastly, repetitive task. They are able to utilize AI for anything with data entry, anything that's just manual repetitiveness. And usually these jobs would be given to a fresh grad, a low skill employee, or someone just trying to get their foot in the door of a new company. But now these roles are not going to exist anymore, and AI will just do that. So the only thing you have left are very niche, specialized, high skill roles that will be hiring, and that's it. Like there's not really such thing as a low skill white collar job these days. The only thing I can think of is low skill physical labor, because robotics aren't that advanced and accessible yet. But AI is. So I guess if you want to get into a new company, an option is to look for a low skill physical labor role. But if you don't want that, you have to be a high skill white collar role. That's what the future is looking like, or that's what the current state of the job market looks like. Oh yeah, one thing interesting is that there's one bit in this article that I thought was kind of funny. They state that these layoffs come right after the CEO was fired because he was caught having a relationship with his employee, with an employee working under him. So he was basically fucking his employee, and he got fired. That's a chocolate company for you. But anyways, despite all of these layoffs, the company still grew in sales by 4.3%, as stated here, in the third quarter of this year. So this is not a surprise. Companies are greedy, and they will lay off even though they made more money than they ever did. So yeah, very sad news, especially hearing this right before the holidays. I'm sure all these people are very, very sad. But I guess the only thing that is not so bad is that these layoffs weren't immediate. It would have been really, really bad if these layoffs happened right now, right before the holidays. But fortunately, it's more of a heads up, because it's such a big layoff that legally they have to give an announcement like this. So fortunately for the employees, they still have some time to plan ahead. It's not going to happen this year, but it is going to happen soon. Anyways, that's just my quick report on Nestle doing their thing. Very sad. When I hear things like this, I always think about, what people should do, including myself, to plan for the unexpected halt in income, the unexpected firing or layoff of your job, because it's so unpredictable. It's like you could work in a company and you could hear all these reports of growth, expansion, investment, and then the next week you hear 20,000 layoffs and you're like, wait, we literally just made billions and I've been working like really good, but now I'm losing my job. So I think everyone in the whole country is now on the same page. And I think the fact that you're watching this video, you're on the same page. I think there's a huge shift going on in the world. And I think this is going to be a snowball effect. I don't know what it's going to be, but I kind of feel it. Maybe it's going to be more regulations in the US law for layoffs, because it seems like mass layoffs are very unregulated these days. But yeah, stay on your toes, stay sharp, and don't get too comfortable. Strive for your goals and success, and always remember to take care of yourself first before you take care of your job. Alright, thanks for watching. Subscribe for more content, and let me know what your thoughts are on the Nestle layoffs.